How's everyone doing? Today I have a Blu-ray collection update with 9 pickups. And if you've seen any of them, definitely let me know what you think of them. And let me know which one of these is your favorite. Leave me those comments down below. And first off, I've got an eclectic mix here, which I normally do. I have an eclectic taste. Movies, music, pretty much everything. But I've got a Steelbook. I've got a 4K title. I've got a whole bunch of different genres in here. And I'm excited to delve into the ones that I haven't seen in a long time, and the ones that I haven't seen at all. And there's a bunch of ones that I haven't seen in here. First up is the Jackie Chan Collection Volume 1, and this is from Shout Factory. And Shout Factory is having a Jackie Chan Brawl-a-thon tomorrow, Saturday, January 28th, starting at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Shout Factory TV, and you can watch that on all your streaming devices, all that good stuff. And this one is really interesting to me because it's from 1976 to 1982, and it covers a bunch of Jackie Chan movies. In fact, I haven't seen any of these ones. Let me know what your favorite Jackie Chan movie is. Super Cop, Super Cop 2, Police Story, all the Police Story movies, Drunken Master. I feel like a lot of people know him for like Russia, but he's so many things before that. Rumble in the Bronx, a ton of great films. He is an all-time martial arts action legend. And I think he has, over 130 credits. And I know he did, a lot of stuff way back in the day and stuff before I was born. So, this is a lot of this stuff in here. So I'm looking forward to checking these ones out. I think it's exciting, the fact that I haven't seen these ones. And a bunch of special features on there. Bevy. So this looks awesome. I can't wait to delve into here. And I'm going to check out some of the Jackie Chan Brawl-a-thon. I love that name, Brawl-a-thon, instead of, marathon or, watch-a-thon or whatever the terminology is today. But there is interior artwork right there, which is just going over the movies and, all the technical aspects right there. And it's got a swing tray and unique artwork, which I definitely appreciate for the discs. A lot of times companies will cheap out a little bit and just have uniform artwork for all the discs. So I'm glad that's not the case here. I definitely appreciate that. You know what? I think I have seen Snake and Crane Arts of Shaolin. I had a Jackie Chan DVD tin way back in the day. I think that was on there. But yeah, that one actually, now that I'm saying it out loud, I think I might have seen that one way back, but it's been a long time. So you've got Dragon Lord, Battle Creek Brawl, Dragon Fist, Snake and Crane Arts of Shaolin, Shaolin Wooden Men, To Kill with Intrigue, and then The Killer Meteors. So that is pretty awesome. It's a 7-disc set. Really nice release from Shout Factory. And again, one of the legends right there for martial arts. Let me know who your favorite martial arts actor is. But excited for that one. And again, the Brawl-a-thon tomorrow. Let me know if anybody else is going to tune in for that. I'm going to do the Brawl-a-thon, and then I'm going to switch over to Royal Rumble. So a lot of different, acting going on there. Next up is DC Universe movie, Legion of Superheroes. I don't know much about this one. It says it's the 31st century and the Legion Academy. There's a new generation, and they're hoping to join the Legion of Superheroes. And you got, Supergirl in here. And then you've got Brainiac 5, some old enemies in here. And then there's a group known as the Dark Circle with a powerful weapon. And they have to, I guess, team up to defeat the Dark Circle and Brainiac 5. And yeah, so it looks like Supergirl is there. And, she's going to help with the Academy and these young heroes, and looks like some interesting characters right there. A lot of these like DC animated titles are really good, and I feel like underrated, and Warner Brothers is releasing a lot of them, and Warner Brothers also released a few animated Mortal Kombat movies, which were incredible. Scorpion's Revenge especially, super high recommendation, and those Mortal Kombat animated movies are gory as heck. So I'm excited to check this one out right there and to see some of the cool characters. Especially I like seeing, Martian Manhunter deserves more love for the DC universe. Let me know who your favorite DC comic book characters. I like Hawkman a lot too. I grew up with Hawkman. I definitely prefer Marvel over DC, and I was big into, Marvel and then Image. But I liked, Valiant as well. I liked, the Deathmate crossover. But yeah, let me know, DC or Marvel. I feel like those are the really two big ones right there. Dark Horses, and there's a bunch of other companies. Next up is Bones and All. This is another Warner Brothers release. This is directed by Luca Guadagnino, who directed the Suspiria remake, which I have to sit down and finish. I started that one night, and then I didn't finish it, and then I just put it off, and I never rewatched, so I got to sit down and rewatch it. It was very stylistic. I like the color usage, the color palette there, but it felt a little overly long. That was my complaint, and I think I just was said, I'm too tired. I couldn't finish it right when I feel like it was probably starting to get good, because you started to finally see some craziness happen. But he also directed Call Me By Your Name with Timothy Chalamet, which he's working again with here. I haven't seen that one. I've heard great things. That kind of like catapulted Timothy Chalamet's career. And Taylor Russell, she was in Waves, which I love that movie, so underrated. Now, it is a tale of two halves. The first half was so much stronger, but I still enjoyed the movie overall. And Mark Rylance, super creepy in this one. Very talented actor. But Taylor Russell, to me, looks so much like this girl that I knew from high school, except she's about 10 years younger. But yeah, it's interesting. Like, I want to say she's like 29. She usually plays like, I guess that high school students and stuff like that, and teenager, maybe just college too, but, coming out of high school into college. But I feel like, that happens a lot with actors, but I feel like she's been in just a ton of those roles. But this one to me was really interesting, but the ending felt a bit rushed. That was my one complaint. You have this like, kind of coming of age cannibal romance story. They don't really tell what they are. They just call them eaters. They're not really vampires because they're eating the flesh. So they're just some kind of weird cannibal people. But, it's basically all about how she gets abandoned by her father because she's an eater. She's hanging out with a group of friends and she bites somebody, bites their finger. And you find out more information about her childhood and how she's done this before when she was like a 3-year-old, biting a babysitter and stuff and mauling her. And then you find out there's like these whole group of people that are called eaters, and they can smell each other, and they're crazy and they have to eat. Well, they don't necessarily have to eat to survive, but one character says you have to later. As you get older, it becomes increasingly stronger, that desire and that, I guess, feeling like you have to eat. I thought it was really interesting, intriguing. I would have liked a little bit more delving into, the eating and the eaters. And then, she meets Timothy Chalamet along the way, and he's also an eater, and they kind of, start a relationship up together, and they travel around the country. She's trying to find her mother, and that was a crazy scene with her mother. Holy moly. And I actually really enjoyed this film. I would say, it's one of those like dramatic horror movies because it still has horror elements. They're eating people, you see blood and stuff. But I would say it's probably in my top 10 of last year. I feel like last year for me, there's not a lot of movies that really blew me away. So give me some recommendations for, your favorite movies or underrated movies of last year, and also your favorite horror movies and favorite, underrated horror movies too. There's some movies that I feel like were just really overhyped. I would say, Barbarian, Black Phone, Sadness. Those are like a few of my favorites from last year that aren't underrated in my opinion. But, it's all subjective. But I thought it was really strong acting, great cinematography, just a great emotional journey. I just felt like the ending felt rushed. So that was my major gripe for it, but I still enjoyed it. I just wanted a little bit more at the end. I felt like it was just bringing you along, and then it just happened so fast, I feel like, and I just wanted more from that. But still enjoyable, and one that I would recommend checking out. But again, it has dramatic pacing, and it does have a little bit more drama and, romance aspect than, say, the horror elements. If you're looking for just straight up, cannibals and stuff like that, you're going to be a bit disappointed because there isn't. I mean, I feel like there is, but it's a lot more playing up the dramatics. So take that into consideration. Next up is Violent Night right here, which this one surprised me because I initially thought it was going to be a horror movie, especially with the title, and then the director here, who's directed, his name is Tommy Wirkola. He directed Dead Snow 1 and 2, and then Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters. I love the first Dead Snow movie. A lot of people like the second one more, but I highly prefer the first one. It's, you know, crazy, evil Nazi zombies. How can you go wrong with that? And, you know, in the snowy setting too. I love horror movies with the snowy setting. I love that movie so incredibly much. One of my all-time favorites, especially an all-time favorite zombie movie. High recommendation. Definitely check out Dead Snow. But I feel like a lot of his movies have great elements of, you know, blood and, you know, action, and then comedy too. There's always levity added. And that's definitely the case here too, except it's an action Christmas comedy movie right here. And you've got David Harbour in the role, and I feel like everybody knows him from Stranger Things. He's done some other stuff too, Hellboy. I feel like he has, you know, the screen presence, but I just don't feel like he really pulls off this role fully for me. And I feel like that for a bunch of his roles. I just feel like he doesn't have the charisma for it for me. Like, screen presence there for sure. He's a tall guy, he's a big guy, kind of imposing, but just the charisma fully isn't there. Like, I feel like he mumbles throughout a lot of this and just doesn't bring a lot of depth of character and energy to the role that should be there. And I just felt like, you know, it just needs a little bit more. I like John Leguizamo in here, Beverly D'Angelo's in here, Cam Giganet, a few other recognizable people. It's basically about a team of, you know, it says mercenaries in the back, you know, an attack force essentially that comes into this big mansion, this really rich family, takes them hostage, and they're looking for this money. There's some family betrayal, which you can totally see coming a mile away. The family's pretty terrible. And then you have the little girl there. So there was a family dynamic. I was kind of upset about the ending. Like, how can you just forgive that guy for what he did? Kind of crazy. And I felt like it was a missed opportunity with the showdown at the end with John Leguizamo's character. I wish he would have said, "I know you did it," with the old man when he talks about that earlier in the movie. But it's basically about David Harbour being a butt-kicking Santa. And there's some inconsistencies with his, you know, magical powers and stuff. And I wish they would have gone a little bit more in depth about, you know, his previous history and stuff like that. But it was still a fun time. And it says from the producers of John Wick. It's an entertaining movie. You know what you're getting yourself into with this kind of movie. I would have loved to have seen a horror version of this, but it was still a great time. Really enjoyable. Although it was inconsistent, still fun, you know, popcorn, Christmas action comedy movie. I just don't feel like he had the gravitas for the role fully. Physical presence, screen presence there, but I want a little bit more from, you know, whoever was going to play this role. It's just, you know, it's Santa. It's a butt-kicking Santa. So that's pretty much all you need to know. You do have some special features right there, and then some good special features on Bones and All as well. And I'll go ahead and show you. I did show you for the Jackie Chan one. There again, it's a bevy. And then on here, they usually have like they'll have some animated stuff on here too, like you know, animated TV show episodes sometimes. So yeah, plus from the DC Vault 2 bonus cartoons. They don't tell you what it is on the back. You have to pop it in and see the surprise for yourself for the disc on there. But usually it's some good stuff. So I've been happy with the bonus features on those DC animated ones. Next up, and this was a Universal release. I did a giveaway for this. And I love and appreciate having that opportunity to give back. And it's because of you guys I can do these giveaways. So thank you for all the support on here after all these years. Been making videos for a long time on here, and I still love, you know, making videos on here, talking movies and collecting. Next up is Lionsgate, a Vestron Video Collector Series release, the Dennis Collection, Dennis 1 and 2 with Gordon Burnson. Both ones directed by Yuzna. What's his first name? Brian Yuzna. He did Society, which I always was not a fan of that movie. I feel like there's so much hype and love for that movie. But it's really just all about the ending orgy scene with the butt face character and just all that craziness. The rest of the movie I remember being pretty terrible. You know, obviously the societal, you know, allegory is just pushing your face so, you know, right there front and center over, and just the acting from the lead character was so bad. It was like soap opera acting. But he also did Return of the Living Dead 3, which is amazing, a favorite of mine. And one I loved growing up and still love now. And I feel like it's a bit underrated, deserves more love. But he did one of the, was it Beyond Reanimator? One of the Reanimators, I believe it was Beyond Reanimator. But this one was, I remember watching both of these when I was a kid. And Corbin Burnson was just maniacal and awesome. but love the heck out of it. And I remember, just how wild it was and some good kill scenes in here. And I'm excited to revisit these ones. It's been a long time. Basically, the first one, he goes crazy after he finds, he thinks he has the perfect life, and then finds out his wife is cheating on him, and he just starts killing people, losing his mind. The second one, he comes out of like a, mental institution, goes to a small town, and starts wreaking havoc again. And, as if going to the dentist wasn't scary enough, you got this. And I remember like this and like Dr. Giggles. I mean, that's a good, double feature right there, or, triple feature if you put the second one in here. But definitely entertaining and awesome. And I'm really happy Vestron Video is continuing to release their movies right here. And, I want to see more. Like, I feel like initially there was so many. It was like a flood of the Vestron Video releases, and then just slow trickle, a couple a year. And now we're getting more, and I'm so happy for that. I know some people collect every single release. I can't, I'm just, you can't be a fan of every single movie for all the different companies out there. But this company, like, for me, 90% home run success for the movies out there. There's only a couple. The one with the two Corys, Dream a Little Dream, I couldn't stand that one. Parents, I wasn't a fan of. I think there was like one more, but pretty much everything else I loved. Let me know what your favorite Vestron Video Collector Series Blu-ray release has been. Blood Diner for me. That's like just an all-time favorite movie of mine. Great horror comedy movie. But again, really excited for this one. I believe Ken Foray was in the first one too. Again, it's been a long time, but looking forward to revisiting these, and special features right there too. They always do a great job on their releases, so definitely happy on that one. Now here's one that it's a Paramount release. I remember not being a fan. I'm really picky when it comes to musicals. Let me know what your favorite musical is. And I also remember thinking like this, and then the movie Crash were like my two least favorite Oscar-winning movies. And I know everybody loves Crash. For me, it's the Cronenberg Crash is the only real Crash movie. The Crash that won the Oscar was just so contrived, so trite. Just everything about it was cliche, and just, it makes me want to vomit thinking about it. But I know a lot of people love that movie. But this one right here, I'm going to give this one another chance because I saw this when I was young. 2002 won for Best Picture. So 6 Academy Award wins, including Best Picture. Again, I'm picky when it comes to musicals, so that was my big thing right here. Richard Gere, Renee Zellweger, Catherine Zeta-Jones. This is the new Steelbook 20th Anniversary Limited Edition right there. And again, you've got some special features right there. And there's the back. Razzle dazzle 'em. And there is the disc artwork and some interior artwork. The Diamond Edition. And usually for these releases, these re-releases, anniversary editions and stuff, they're just repackaged from previous releases. So usually no new transfer or special features, just the packaging like right there. And there you go. Two women, I believe, on, death row, and, trying to get the love of the lawyer right there. Again, it's been a long time since I've seen this one. I only saw it when it first came out, and not being a big fan of it, but I do want to rewatch this one. A lot of times it really depends on where you are in life, and also, the viewing experience at the time. If it was a bad movie theater experience, that can affect your opinion on the movie for sure, and who you're watching with. They can, make comments, or, their body language or something like that can affect, how you view this one. So I'm hoping it'll be better for me on the second viewing right there. Next up is Attack of the 50-Foot Woman, cheesy 50s sci-fi B movie right here. An alien, she has an encounter with the spaceship and stuff, and she gets to become 50 foot tall, and she's wrecking havoc, and she wants revenge, I think, on her cheating husband. From what I can recall, it's been a long time again. I don't think I ever saw the full version of this one. I only saw parts of it here and there. I think on TMC and stuff like that, TCM. But yeah, so it's been a long time for this one too. And, again, another cheating spouses theme that we see a few times here. But yeah, so again, there was the Colossal Man, which was, I think, maybe a year before this one. This is 58. But then there's also the remake too with Daryl Hannah. There's been a few different takes on, giant people, giant women too. So definitely looking forward to revisiting this one and seeing it in its entirety. Yeah, it's, cheesy fun, sci-fi, B-movie, that whole Cold War era. I love the creature features and stuff like that during that time period. So definitely excited. Next up is Night of the Iguana, which I haven't seen. The cast in here is stellar. Richard Burton, who was married and divorced twice to Elizabeth Taylor, Ava Gardner, Deborah Kerr, Sue Lyon. There's a few other recognizable people in here based on Tennessee Williams' play. And this is directed by, let me know what your favorite Tennessee Williams adaptation has been movie-wise. But it's directed by John Huston, who directed so many great movies. And I think he picked the cast because there's all kinds of different romance aspects going on in real life with some of these characters. But John Huston directed so many amazing movies. Let me know what your favorite John Huston movie is. Maltese Falcon, Key Largo, African Queen, Treasure of Sierra Madre. He's worked a bunch with Bogey. There's so many. Fat City one is a good box one that I think is underrated. But a ton of great films. And this one sounds interesting. I haven't seen this one. I've heard of it before. Basically, the synopsis in here doesn't really say anything about the movie. Just a quote. And then, it says a man, woman, love, lust, ruin, and redemption. One night they all meet. So I think it's about this guy who is an ostracized clergyman, and he brings these women who are religious to, I want to say, Mexican coast, and kind of like a tour. And then I guess there's some romance aspect, and it goes through his life and, everything that didn't work out, and kind of, maybe an epiphany happens and realizes maybe he wished he could have done things differently. That's kind of the basic, what I've gotten from what I read online and then hearing about it. And they don't really do a great job of the synopsis. There's no synopsis really. There's just some blurbs and quotes on there. But excited for this one from a directing legend. Some all-time great actors right there. So let me know your favorite Ava Gardner movie, your favorite Deborah Kerr movie, your favorite Richard Burton movie. And then last is a low-budget horror movie, and it's supposed to be touted as Cyprus's first homegrown horror movie. I don't really know much about Cyprus outside of it being, a country in the Middle East. I don't think I've seen any films from Cyprus that I can think of offhand, but this stars Julian Sands, who, great actor. I remember him a lot from, Naked Lunch, Warlock. Love the first couple Warlock movies when I was actually... Warlock Armageddon, I think I have a pin somewhere, actually, still from when I was a kid. It's over here, actually. I'm not going to dig for it, but I think I still have that in my collection. And a Roger Rabbit pen and a few other movie pens that came out during that time period. But Julian Sands, great actor. Been in a ton of stuff. Let me know what your favorite Julian Sands movie is. I want to remember... There's a bunch of other, dramatic movies he was in. But... this one looks like he's going to have a more smaller supporting role in here. It's basically about a television director and their crew, and they go to this supposed haunted hotel, and they travel to Cyprus, and apparently over 100 people passed away in this hotel, and it looks like it's going to have some creepy imagery going on there. I haven't heard much about this one, but it was part of the Horror Hound Film Festival. So that's pretty cool, and looking forward to checking this one out. This is from Cleopatra Entertainment. So there we go. Let me know what you think of these if you've seen them, and let me know which one of these is your favorite. Leave me those comments down below, and I will be looking forward to revisiting a lot of these ones. I wish a lot of these Warner Archive titles. I love Warner Archive, what they're doing with the releases. I just wish they had more special features. So these have a couple, but sometimes they don't have special features at all. But for movies that I enjoy, I definitely appreciate the special features. And again, this, for some of these bigger ones, they're gonna have a ton. But I feel like these are well known. This is an all-time classic right there for B movies. And then this one's I've heard of this one. It's pretty well acclaimed with the everybody involved in this one from top to bottom. So, even, The Dentist, there's a good amount of special features on the Dentist movies. Come on, give me a little bit more for those classics. But I'm excited to check these out. Again, Jackie Chan, Brawlathon, Shout Factory TV tomorrow, starting at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So tune in with me for that one. I'll be watching that. I'm excited for it. And then I'll be watching Royal Rumble too. And then Sunday football. So it is, jam-packed weekend. I'm going to have some friends over for the Royal Rumble. So it'll be a good time this weekend. Let me know what you're doing this weekend, what you're going to watch as well, who you're rooting for, if you're into wrestling for Royal Rumble, or if you're into football as well, who you're rooting for there too. But very souped on this stack, 9 titles. Leave me all those comments down below, and I hope everybody's doing well. Take care.